Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So just coming back in with another unboxing video of the current Hunkydory Goodie box, although by the time this video goes up it possibly may have sold out, but if you have got yours on the way, at least you may be able to see what you might get in yours. If you haven't ordered yours yet, then you may have already missed out. And they are shipping everywhere at the moment. So let's just take that out of the mix so you're seeing everything that I am. So we've got a little looking for inspiration. Join us live every day at 10 AM. So actually I'll just put that in my recycling. So ultra high tack tape, super useful. Loving these little embellishments that we're getting this time. So I've got some lovely little bells there. The Merry Little Christmas little book. So I did get some of the decollage, but not too much of it. Look at that, how cute is that? So these are always super useful, super craftable. I have honestly got more of these and more little books than I like to think about. I haven't got this one. So this is the traditional Christmas and music paper duo design pad. So look at that, music notes, they're good all year round. Even these stripes will be good all year round. And the tartans, of course. So not just for Christmas, this pad, so that's super useful. Then we have the from the Elegance, we've got that beautiful pink foiled Christmas wishes. We have those beautiful polar bears. Oh, so cute. I haven't got any of these, so these are great. And they go so far as well, because you can get 2 out of each one. Beagle, how cute is he? And another one as well. Which ones are these? Oh, the Labrador and the Spaniel. Cute again. And look at these are super useful as well. These are the silver foiled little book pages, so that goes with that little book. So really well thought out box. And then we have the Festive Joy collection and the inserts as well. So I did work on this, but I didn't actually buy the Blockbuster myself this year because I'd worked on it. And they did send me enough so that there was some left over, but it's always great to have the whole collection of my own. May save it for next year. Then again, I may not. So I'm thinking it's going to be definitely Christmas again. So let's just put all this to the side, make a bit of space, and I'll come back and make it a card. Okay, so I decided to come in with this set from the Festive Joy collection. We've got the New Year, New Beginnings. I haven't done anything with this one before when I was doing the work for the design team. This is the beautiful snowdrops. So we've got our printed cardstock. We've got our foiled cardstock. I've also brought out the insert because I'm going to be using that as well. We've got 3 beautiful toppers on there. The greetings on here are sort of Christmassy, New Year, but I don't think I'm going to be using that for it. So the first card I'm going to do, just going to bring in an Inkme 5x7 card blank. This is the Hunkydory cardstock. So I'm just going to do a little easel card. So I'm going to score this at 3.5. And I'm not doing a piece to go over the top of it. I want this to be over the edge because it is that really big topper that I'm going to be using. So that's the shape that we've got. Let's pop that to the side. And what I am going to do is just give that a lovely burnish down. And then if I bring in my trimmer, And I'm going to start by cutting this A4 piece of gold mirri down to 2 notches or 1/8 of an inch under the 5 by 2 notches or 1/8 of an inch under the 7. That's going to go into the bit box, and that will be the piece that goes on the bottom. And then I'm going to cut another piece that's going to be 2 notches under the 5. Then it needs to be 2 notches or 1/8 of an inch under 3.5. That's going to be the piece that goes on the front there. And these pieces will both go into my little bit bag there. And then if I bring in, I'm going to cut the insert first of all, but I will go over the cuts with my trimmer, my guillotine, because I just get a neater cut with it. So what I'm going to do is just cut that to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and that will be the piece that goes on the bottom. So you can see how it sort of feathers the edge, so it's much better cut on my guillotine. Obviously we don't throw that away, we keep that for the next time. And then I'm going to take a piece of this beautiful foiled cardstock. I'm going to cut it to 4 3/4. And then we just want a piece for here, which is 3 1/4. I really do want just the tips of those snowflakes showing, so I'm just going to cut that to where I want it at the top, and then I can go to 3 1/4 and take that little bit off the bottom. So that's going to go onto there, and that by itself would be quite a pretty card. We've got this beautiful piece left over that we definitely will not be throwing away. And let's just grab that guillotine and just tidy up those edges of the insert. And the way I do that is just by taking a slither off, so it's not even a measurement, it's just enough to take that fluff off. You can see it's not even really a paper strip that I've taken there. There we go. It's still a bit fluffy. Oh no, it's just from before. So just tidy that up. Just loose bits that were stuck to it, that's all. Okay. So now we can come and assemble here. Sorry. So the glues I'm going to be using, they're my usual glues. I've got the Clout All-Purpose Glue. I've got the Clout Tacky Glue, which just has a bit of glue stuck to the top. Normally I clean these off before I start, but I get so excited about opening the box. Sometimes I forget. So they've got the Clout Tacky Glue. For the insert, with it being paper, I'm going to be using a dotty tape pen, and I'm probably going to be using my purple glue stick as well. So I've just refilled this up, so there we go. So a little bit of all-purpose. And I bought those dispenser bottles from Temu or AliExpress, one of them. 5 of them for about £2, I think. And they just dish out just such a very thin amount of glue. It's just perfect for what I want to be doing with it. So for the insert, we're using the dotty tape pen, like I said. Now I do still want to be able to use this as an insert, or for that ability to be there, even though we are using it as a decorative piece of paper on a card. And you absolutely can do that. These inserts are papers in their own right as well, most of them. So I'm just giving that a good press down just to make sure there's no bubbles of glue which might harden. So I just love this one, this is gorgeous. This might have to go on my shelf for a little bit. And this first one, I'm not really making Christmas cards with them. These two. Sorry if you catch a image of my mug in there. So it's very reflective, this mirror card. Beautiful cardstock. If you've never tried Hunkydory mirror card, then I would say give it a go, because you'll never go back, because it's just the most beautiful thing. So let's just pop that on. So there we have the base of our card. Like I say, it already looks beautiful, but let's just add in a topper and take that to the maximum. So I am going with this really huge topper here, and I'm thinking it is bigger than 6 inches, I believe, just over 6 inches, the frame anyway. If you wanted a smaller card, you could just take the center. I'm going to be using this Looking Forward to New Beginnings for my stopper, and I think I might also bring in one of these little buttons here with that little blue flower on. So I'm kind of thinking, you know, maybe somebody leaving work, you know, changing job, could be retiring, I guess, or it could be just somebody doing something different with their life, maybe going off on travels, maybe they're going to work somewhere cold, who knows. But this is the kind of thought. I didn't want to do too many Christmas cards. I kind of have done a lot of Christmas cards. Okay, so let's bring in some 2mm foam pads. I might just use these Hunkydory ones, and I think they might be, oh, I've got one that I've already cut down a little bit. So what we want to do is just turn it over, make sure there's no pips sticking out. This shape is a little trickier to get your scissors in. You can use your knife if you want, or a little nail file, or you can just use your nail actually to just give them a little press down. It is soft paper. Now, is there a right or a wrong way with this? And there is, because we've got these snowdrops coming down. So if I pop this where we want that to be, and then we will get this 2mm foam pad off, and I'm pretty much going from just below that halfway point. So what I'm going to do is just carefully snake my way around, trying to keep the shape nice and straight. Because sometimes these the foam pads, if you are not too careful, you can sort of buckle your shape a bit if you are not too careful, sticking the foam pad down around corners and things. Let's just pop that off. And down. So a little bit of purple glue stick, say a little bit, quite a bit of purple glue stick, just to give me that bit of wiggle room time with this. And then if I fold my card flat, if I can get it to stay flat, and we can just work that out. And then when that stands up, you're going to have that bit of air between that. And then by leaving out that middle frame, we're still going to see these snowflakes running behind. So I've just got these 2mm foam pads. Again, just making sure I've got that the right way. I'm just going to put a couple on here. Oh, got a little one there, let's use that in that little space. I'm not sure if Anita, Crafty Calamity, is going to be getting some boxes this year. She did some last time. So hopefully there may be a couple more box openings that you can find out on the internet. If not, you can always go and re-watch Hobby Maker shows, Hunkydory shows. Okay, so this is going to act as my stopper, which is going to keep this card upright. And I am going to come over to this right hand side, I think, with it. So let's just take some of these, and I'm putting a nice amount on because I really do want this to be quite a nice stable thing. And it has got to keep all of that weight up, so it's worth just making sure. And then decide how far you want that to go. I'm going to pick around about the halfway point, I think. And then we'll come in around about here. Apologies if you can hear my tummy talking. And then if I bring in my little T-square ruler. There we go. And then this one, I think I'm going to pop down in this little corner here. Again, we'll just tidy those pips up. But I am going to go a little lower with this one. I'm just going to go to 1mm on here, because it's just an add-on. It's not the focus of the card. You could use all three, maybe one on the other side if you wanted to. And I'm not going to put any purple glue on this one. Just decide which way I want that to go. And I'm going to pop one there like so. Just straighten that corner out. It's just trying to turn a little. And then if I bring in some gold gems. And I want 3 similar sized ones. And I'm going to pop one here and one here and one here as well. So let's grab my little pickup tool. Everything falls over. There we go. So that is going to be our finished card. Let me just show it to you, and then I'll pop it down flat so those gems don't go for a wander. Let's bring it down a little. And there we go. I think that's about as good as you're going to get. I will put photos on Pinterest and Facebook. I didn't do it last time. Oops, stay there. But I will do it with this one. The one I make after this. But that's that first card. I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, I'm going for a little 6x6 square. This is my 6x12 300 GSM white cardstock that I get from Paper Cuts. And I'm just going to make a little, like I say, a little 10-fold card. So I'm going to bring in a 6x6 gold Mary Mac, because the foiling on this one is all gold. And I'm going to take 2 notches or 1/8 of an inch off here. And we'll pop that over there. So that should fit rather nicely. And then I'm going to take the printed cardstock because I absolutely fell in love with this border. And I'm going to cut it to 5 3/4. I'm keeping all of that border in. I'm not making it any smaller. Just keeping it as it is. So it's 5 3/4 square. Sorry if you can hear Pizza Bite going by. So that is how our card is going to start out life. So let's go ahead and pop this in. So this line down here is a perfect place for a ribbon, maybe even a gold peel off, something like that if you wanted to. I'm going to leave it as it is, but just as a sort of serving suggestion if you like. It with it being perfectly straight, it does lend itself to that. Lovely green ribbon, like a real fresh green, would be cool. And also you could emboss this side a little as well with a script embossing folder. Hunkydory do have a really nice script one. Lisa Horton has a 3D one, but what I would say is just reduce the pressure a bit, because 3D embossing folders are not great to do partial embossing like that. Or you could cut it down the line here, emboss it and then piece it back together, maybe covering with that beautiful ribbon like I just suggested. There is our card, and that is gorgeous. You could put something down the bottom there. That could be a sympathy card, it could be a lot of different things, but not today for me. So we're going to bring this in. This is going to come off to this side. I'm not using any of the sentiments on here because I want to use one from the shaped sentiments, which I'm going to overlap down here with Just For You, sort of turning it into more of a birthday card. I might put that in the middle, move that a little bit, a couple of gems there, and then I want to glitter these on this side. That was what I thought immediately when I saw that. Well, actually no, I tell a lie. The other thing I was thinking of doing was putting some lovely parchment over it, because I think it would just be beautiful poking through. Actually, I can show you. I've got a piece of parchment here. Let me just show you. So that over with your topper on. Maybe, like I was talking about the other day, your sort of fancy edge punches. If you've got snowflake punch border going down the edge there, that would be super cute. Or you could pick something that's not snowflakey, not Christmas. Maybe a little flower edge or a leaf edge, or just like a distress edge. If you've got a distress edge die, you could use that on your vellum as well, or your parchment. So we decided we were going pretty much in the middle in the end. So let's pop that on. Now I am going to use these 2mm again, but I am going to raise it up to 3mm. So let's just grab one of these 1mm pads. That should pretty much cover that without anything being seen behind. Yeah, it's just the backing. A little bit of purple glue stick. Again, just to give us that bit of wiggle room time. Just fold that pip down. We'll come across around about there. Then I think I'll save the gems for last, because what can happen when you're glittering is if you've got a little bit of glue there for the gem, you might find that your glitter does stick to it. I'm going to use a cookie glue pen. Actually, should just check it's working. It's been a while. Yeah, it's definitely working. And then what I'm going to do is just follow the lines of the top of the petals. And obviously this does make it a little bit more female. In my experience, this may just be my nephew's. There's always exceptions. Guys don't tend to like the glitter quite so much. Or definitely not older people anyway. My nephews were a little bit scared of it. Or should I say they are a little bit scared. Well, one of them is a little bit scared of it. And I'm just going to pop our glitter on. This is the Deco Art Glamour Dust. I've just had it probably since when I started crafting. You can just see that coming through. And I can't even show you how much is in there, but it's around about here. Like I say, I've had it since I started crafting, more or less, so a good 10 to 15 years at least. It's been part of my staples. I have used other glues. I've used the Hunkydory ones, they're good. I just, with that one being the bigger pot, I just tend to come back to it a bit more. It's easier to find for me, I think, and also it sits nicely on my desk without falling off. That's not to say that the Hunkydory one falls off, it's just a smaller tub, so I do tend to knock it about a bit more, and that's probably more just about me being a bit more clumsy. I mean, you've seen how many times I've knocked the bottles over today. Okay, so we're just going to pop 3 in this corner. I did toy with the idea of going with some gold glitter, but I think it would just not look quite as nice. I think with the silver or the clear iridescent, it kind of is a bit of a frost. And what I would do with that one is, once it's completely dry, the glitter, I go over it with a super fine sort of blending brush, just brush off any excess and any loose ones come away. I mean, you can blow it, you can tap it, but you still will have that odd one that's stubborn and sticks on there. But I don't know if you can really just pick up the sparkle. Maybe you can. It's difficult for me to see on my screen because I've got a really bright light in front of it. But that's card number 2. Let's bring back in card number 1. Our little easel card there. Still a little bit left on here, so we've still got that topper, so that's another card. We've got these season's greetings, that's quite plain, so you can't see it. We've got this season's greetings here, is quite plain, so you could use that with your normal card making. It doesn't have to stay with this set. And we've got a couple of buttons there and that little mini topper. And then from the cardstock, I've got loads left. So I've got that printed one with the snowdrops. We've got that foiled one with that beautiful set in there. That's the insert. And then I've got those bits left over. And that one was called New Year, New Beginnings. So that's it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the goodie boxes this year. You'll have to let me know if you've got the same as this one, whether you've seen this one being open. I hadn't seen this one, I have to be honest. I've seen one with the Merry Little Christmas in before, but I hadn't seen this set. So it may be one that's been opened on Hobby Maker. But that's it for today. So next time, not sure what I'm coming back with. I'm gonna have to look through, see what's still in stock, because I did see that the last little set I did sold out in between me looking at it and doing the video. So they're crazy busy at the moment over there. So I will see what is still in stock and see what I've got, and we'll come up with something from that. But thank you so much for watching today. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.